Thanks, Trevor. Good morning, guys. I'll start with Andrew. On a day like this and on a night like this, the last one before playoffs start, how do you actually spend your time, whether travel-wise, like is it Netflix? Are there meetings? What is it that you're doing on an evening like this one?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's pretty normal. In terms of just like night before regular season game, I think you're kind of shutting it down early. You're kind of just watching, whatever's on TV. Probably turn on some of the games tonight. Probably have a meal with the guys. Lay low. I don't think there's no secret sauce before the night before a playoff game. I think it's just kind of same routine, and you're just kind of taking it easy because tomorrow's a big day.
We'll go next to Sean Reynolds from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Sean.
Thanks, Gregor. This one's for Andrew. Andrew, when you had the year that you had against a team like Edmonton, when you were, when you guys were playing very good hockey, you were still struggling with that team. What you're doing leading up to this series, is it more along the lines of refining what you guys do and getting to the best possible game you have, or does it require an entirely new look from your team to succeed against this Oilers team?
I don't think it's a new look. I think it's, like you said, it's fine-tuning our game and making sure we're doing the things that we need to do to be successful. We think that our blueprint works against, kind of any type of team, whether, it's McDavid and Draisaitl or, whoever. So we feel like, we're working on what we do best. We're trying to improve, parts of our game that need to be improved upon, especially come playoff time. So I think we're just kind of worried about ourselves and fine-tuning our game. Obviously, there's a few adjustments you got to make with the dangerous guys that they have. But for the most part, I think we're concentrating on ourselves and concentrating on getting us to be the best team we can be.
We'll go next to Jeff Hamilton from the Winnipeg Free Press. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, Andrew, as someone who plays in the best league in the world, I know it's genuine when you share kind of your thoughts about Connor McDavid, being obviously the player that he is. But as a competitor in this league, has it been frustrating at all to kind of have to talk about this guy after every game and now leading into the playoffs?
Who's that dude? Yeah, I mean, like you're competitive. I don't think anyone's competing for your guys' spotlight, though, to be honest with you. I think we're kind of, we want to, I guess, prove that on the ice that, that we, hopefully are the better team and come out and win the series. So, I don't really think we're caught up in who's getting the attention of the limelight or the superstardom. I mean, it's well-deserved. He's the best player in the league right now. So I don't think any one individual player is trying to get wrapped up in why am I not getting that spotlight. But I don't know. I think we're focused on what's going on the ice. I don't think we're really too worried about the spotlight or what's going on in the media.
I'll go back to Jeff Hamilton for a follow-up. Go ahead, Jeff.
Thanks, Trevor. Yeah, just another follow-up on that. You mentioned yesterday on Winnipeg Sports Talk about, and I thought it was interesting about that risk reward and that calculation in your head when you're thinking about, when Connor McDavid's on the ice. Is there any other player in the league that's like that? Or is, as you mentioned, is he kind of in a bit of a league of his own when it comes to that risk reward calculation in your head?
I don't know. I mean, I think his speed alone is kind of what changes that for the most part. I would say Nathan McKinnon's probably in that conversation too, of guys that you just need to be aware when you have the puck, the decisions that you're making because of who's on the ice against you. So I mean, only playing against McDavid this year, he's kind of one of the higher ones. But I think anytime you're playing against dangerous players, you don't want to give them a step. You don't want to give Matthews and Marner a step. You don't want to give Draisaitl. You don't want to give Nugent Hopkins a step. So I think he changes the risk reward calculations probably the most, but there's other guys in the league that you're worried about when they're on the ice. Your kind of puck management. So it's not unique to him, but he's unique and probably the changes the most.
We'll go next to Paul Friesen from the Winnipeg Sun. Go ahead, Paul.
Thanks, Gregor. I'll start with Andrew and then I'll ask Trevor as well. Players sometimes say the team that wants it more wins. Given that the end of the season is a bit of a nice prize too, because you get to go maybe home to the US where there's fewer restrictions and see family and all that. you think motivation for some players is going to be more of a challenge than it usually is at this time of year?
No, I don't think so. I think, you put in all the hard work throughout this year, throughout your career, throughout your entire hockey playing career to get to this point to try and win a Stanley Cup. I don't think motivation is going to be any sort of question.
And we'll go back to Paul Friesen. Go ahead, Paul.
And just to maybe get Trevor to weigh in on that one as well.
Yeah, I mean, definitely you don't know how many times you're going to get to be in the playoffs. So I don't think, I don't think there's going to be a lack of motivation at all. I mean, worked hard to get here, and we got a chance to win the cup, and I think that's everyone's goal.
We'll go next to Kelly Moore from 680 CJOB. Go ahead, Kelly.
Thank you, Gregor. Good morning, gentlemen. This one's for Andrew. I know it was 3 years ago, but how much does not being in the lineup for Game 5 against Vegas still burn and drive you for the playoffs, Andrew?
I mean, you try and move on from it. I think 3 years ago, I think I'm a different hockey player than I was then, and but I guess you bring it up, lights a fire under me a little bit. I don't know. I mean, I think it's in the past, but for sure, I've always felt like I had something to prove in the playoffs, and kind of felt that way the last 2 years. So, still feel like I got things to prove on my individual game and can kind of continue to be the best player that I can be. And yeah, I mean, I guess you bringing that up makes me want to think about it more and makes me want to prove him wrong 3 years later. So, not that I'm concentrated on that at all, but always have something to prove.
We'll go back to Kelly Moore. Go ahead, Kelly.
And Trevor, I don't know if during the LA Kings Stanley Cup runs, if there was ever a game that you weren't in the lineup or whatever, but is that always just a prime motivator in itself at this time of the year to do whatever you can to stay in the lineup and not be on that coach's if list?
Yeah, I mean, I think this time of the year it's about the whole team. So, it sucks being out of the lineup, but sometimes you got to do what's best for the team if someone's playing better. But I mean, yeah, it's definitely no fun not being in the lineup. But I think we got a good group here and good depth, and everyone can play. So
we'll go next to Ken Weeb from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Weber.
Thanks, Gregor. Afternoon question for Trevor, please. As someone who's won the cup and knows the importance of goaltending, what's the most important thing you've learned about Connor Hellebuyck this year, being a teammate of his rather than an opposite opponent?
Yeah, he's awesome. I think goalie's obviously one of the biggest parts to winning the cup, especially looking back to my time in LA with Quickie there. But Bucky's he's awesome. He's he's our best player, and we're gonna need him. We're gonna need him a lot. So, sometimes those big saves in the playoffs can change momentum, and when things aren't going your way for a couple shifts, he makes a big save, and things start going the other way. It's all about momentum in the playoffs, and he'll be a huge part of it.
Go back to Ken Weeb for a follow-up. Go ahead, Weber.
Andrew, for you, do you guys view Connor Hellebuyck as the great equalizer in this series?
Yeah, I mean, I think we got a lot of belief in him for sure. I don't know if it's a great equalizer because I don't know if we feel like we're lacking in other areas. So, I mean, I think we got a lot of trust in him. We got a lot of trust in our defense. We got a lot of trust in our special teams. We got a lot of trust in our scoring ability. So, I don't know if he's necessarily an equalizer, but could be a difference maker.
Just a couple more for the guys. We'll go back to Jeff Hamilton from the Free Press. Go ahead, Jeff.
This is for Trevor. In that 2012 run, I think you had 3 goals in the regular season, and I think you had 3 goals in the playoffs, 2 of which were very important in that game. Just my point in even mentioning it is talking about, what you do in the regular season, versus what you do in the playoffs. It seems like the postseason is a real opportunity that no matter what you did prior to, there's an opportunity to kind of, come up big and whatever, if it's redefine your season or whatever. Playoffs kind of gives you that clean slate.
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole new season. It's what you play for. It's what you dream about when you're a kid. There's that extra fire in everyone during the playoffs, and you're seeing it now with the playoffs starting with, guys that don't score much are scoring big goals, and it's what you need to win. I think you need not just your star players to score every night. You need the guys that don't usually score to step up and score those big goals. And I think that gives a team big boosts. And, it takes everyone to win. So I think we got a great group here, and, everyone can chip in, and we're excited to get it going.
And final question to Paul Friesen from the Sun. Go ahead, Paul.
Thanks, Gregor. Just what would you say, Andrew, and then Trevor, what would you say to anyone who says you don't have a chance in this series?
I mean, I think you look at our team, the way it's built, the kind of players that we have on our team, from, the guys on the first line to the guys on the fourth line to the guys that are not even playing. I think we got talent and heart and character and guys that play the right way up and down our lineup. So, discounting us out of the series is a little insulting to me.
Yeah, I agree with that. 2012, we were the 8th seed taking on the President's Trophy Canucks, and it's all about that belief in playoffs. And I think we got a strong belief in here, and we got a group that we know can do it.